Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Today's rundown is going out to the Mega Man Cave, who just found our channel and says our production quality is amazing, and we've earned a new subscriber. Thank you, Mega Man Cave. This rundown is all yours. Top secret intel about Halo Infinite has come in, but you might not like what you hear. With few details about the mysterious new Halo game having been revealed since it was announced at E3 earlier this year, several new bits of information have apparently come in thanks to a job posting on the official Microsoft website. They're looking for an online experience design director to join the Halo team to help create large online games with a background and social engagement features that encourage players to return again and again with their friends. This sounds like Halo Infinite will be a massive online experience that uses the games as service model, with Microsoft planning to update it for years after launch. I guess that makes sense given the name Infinite. The same job posting also says that applicants must have a background in the business models associated with both AAA games and mobile games and know how to implement microtransactions. That all but confirms that Halo Infinite will have microtransactions, although we'll have to wait and see how invasive they are. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They've watched Bungie escalate the Destiny brand to become much bigger and eclipse the reach that Halo has been able to do, partially because Halo is a Microsoft exclusive for sure, but Halo, I think, needs to shake things up and try something brand new. It's a massive universe. There's lots to explore in there. We need to know a lot more about the characters that are involved, especially Master Chief, and of course we've got the television show that's coming as well. I can't really fault Microsoft for exploring some of this territory, especially if there are competitors out there that are making tons of money like Activision, and kind of showing that people want this type of experience. I can't really fault them too much. Now, is that going to piss people off that are just looking for Halo 6, that are just looking for, a carryover of some of the Halo experiences that they've had in the past? That's the kind of tricky position that Microsoft and 343 are in right now. They're smart people over there, though. I was really impressed with the way that 343 was able to kind of carry the baton and make a Halo game that was their own, or Halo games that were their own, but also kind of, paid at least homage to what Bungie did. You can argue till the end of time about what Bungie would have done with Halo, and maybe it would have been better, maybe not, but the truth is that 343 carried the torch, and they delivered some games that satisfied lots and lots of people. I had fun with both Halo 4 and Halo 5, but certainly there's room for improvement, and certainly there's room for some surprise, and I think certainly there's room for a little patience on players' parts to see what 343 and Microsoft are going to provide us before we get all up in arms and angry at them, but yeah, we'll see. Certainly there's a sensitivity out there that people don't want to piss off the player base and make people angry and hate their game. I don't think any developer or publisher wants to do that, so hopefully they don't. Now, hopefully Halo Infinite and other new games don't have loot boxes, or they might run into big trouble. The fight over paid randomized loot boxes and whether or not they count as gambling is continuing in a big way. A week after the Belgian government launched a criminal prosecution against EA over the loot boxes in FIFA 18, gambling regulators from 15 other European jurisdictions have vowed to take on the loot box issue. Gambling regulators from countries including Ireland, France, and Spain have signed a joint statement at the annual Gambling Regulators European Forum, or GREF, to ensure that features within games, such as loot boxes, do not constitute gambling under national laws. The same group is also vowing to take on third-party gambling websites associated with popular games, in apparent response to the CSGO skin gambling controversy. No concrete plans about what the regulators plan to do have been revealed, but this shows that more and more governments are starting to take the issue of loot boxes and microtransactions very seriously. Yes, I think it's incumbent on publishers to heed this warning and heed the cries from many players out there and start to transform the way that they deliver microtransactions. I think they should be kind of clear that they're cosmetic, and you should get a really good idea of what you're spending your money towards. Maybe it's one of 6 different outfits or something like that, but what 6 they're going to be and what I don't know, but this is definitely dangerous territory, and every publisher out there should be paying attention to this, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of angry consumers, a lot of I think the biggest batch of angry consumers are the ones that really helped to build up these companies, the ones that really made them a lot of money over the years, the diehards, the ones that have been tried and true and have stayed with games and have been patient with games as they've experimented in a bunch of different ways and love video games through and through, and they just want to feel like they're getting all the value that they deserve for the money that they spend. And this is true for, NBA 2K19 and all the EA Sports stuff and all the, the online shooters, all of them, absolutely. And I don't know if the answers have been I don't know if there's the perfect kind of game that we can point at and say, that's the answer, that's the way that we should do it. But clearly, this conversation and these concerns being raised and, the cries that are coming from a lot of people out there should be heard and should be heeded. And we will get to, a better value in games once again. And they're going to be AAA, and the publishers are going to find a way to kind of keep the money rolling in so that they can keep making better and better stuff and have massive teams that they can keep employed for a long time as they keep building us content. Now, we've got our first glimpse of the new Joker, and he's looking a little serious. Director Todd Phillips has released the first official photo of Joaquin Phoenix as the new version of the iconic DC villain. As you can see, he doesn't really look like the Joker yet, owing to the fact that this is an origin story exploring how he becomes the Joker in the first place. We also know the first name of this version of the Joker, Arthur. Expect to learn more in the near future. The film is currently shooting and will hit theaters in late 2019. Joaquin Phoenix is a great choice to play the Joker. I know he can get maniacal. I think Todd Phillips is going to come up with some interesting ways to ground this character and make him a little bit more human, and presumably because of that, even more frightening and terrifying. He's a psychotic. He is absolutely horrifying in lots of comic iterations. I think Heath Ledger stands as the definitive on-screen interpretation of the character. But Joaquin is not an actor shy of exploring dark territory or pushing his own sort of creative limitations, and I'm very excited to see what this collaboration is going to sort of put forth. I don't know how you make this without Batman. I don't know how the Joker exists in a universe without Batman. But he's certainly an interesting character, and there's certainly, material to mine here, and I'll be in line to see this for sure. I think, though, that if they're going to all of this trouble, and of course we know the trouble that's sort of swirling around Ben Affleck and now Henry Cavill, I can't imagine that they're going to do this and not at least tease who the new Batman is going to be in this film. And just basically retcon everything and say this is the new Justice League potential. So we'll see. Very interesting days ahead for DC. We might be having, announcements of a new Batman and a new Superman any day now. And they're already showing us pictures of a brand new Joker. I'll be surprised, actually, if Jared Leto is the Joker again, after this. I mean, this is going to get so confusing. Anyways, over in the small screen DC universe, one of the most iconic DC characters ever is joining the fray. Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane is set to appear in the small screen Arrowverse for the first time this fall. She'll be played by Grimstar Elizabeth Tulloch and will appear alongside Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Melissa Benoist's Supergirl in a special crossover episode that unites the Arrowverse characters. The same crossover episode will also mark the debut of Ruby Rose as Batwoman, who's set to get her own series next year. As for Lois Lane, don't be surprised to see her more and more in the next season of Supergirl. And, here's what's happening with the Arrowverse is we're clearly moving towards they're going to finally launch a Batman show and a Superman show, and boom, and probably a Green Lantern show, and why not, These things are successful. Now DC Universe has launched their online streaming app and their service that way, so I think it's only a matter of time until we get television programs that sort of focus on the probably the Trinity. We probably will get a Wonder Woman show as well down the road. I mean, we're getting so close to just filling out almost the entire DC pantheon, all of these different awesome characters. I'm psyched about Ruby Rose's Batwoman. I think she's going to be great. Yeah, the Arrowverse and Greg Berlanti's team, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. And as a DC fan going way back, I'm in, always surprised and very entertained by jumping into these episodes, whether it's Legends, whether it's Flash, whether it's Arrow, Black Lightning. Pretty soon it's going to be Batwoman and Supergirl. Very good stuff. Now, it looks like the next James Bond movie is getting back on schedule. Deadline reports that a new screenplay for the next film in the spy series is currently in the works and is being written by longtime Bond writers Neil Purvis and Robert Wade. The pair had been working on the script before the producers hired director Danny Boyle, who began writing his own screenplay for the project. Unfortunately, Boyle dropped out last month, so the producers have gone back to the original story that Purvis and Wade had been working on, and they're now close to finishing it. The hunt is still on for a director, and whoever takes the job will have to work fast if they don't want the film to be delayed from its planned November 2019 release date. Daniel Craig is still officially signed to reprise the lead role, and I cannot think that they're going to be out in a year from now. That just seems crazy. The script isn't done. That doesn't bode well. If they're going to rush to make this and, put the special effects in and shoot all over the world like they have to with the Bond movie, it doesn't bode well. And this is going to be Craig's last one, presumably. Unless they signed him to a 2-picture deal, which it wouldn't be unheard of. But if it is his last one, I want it to be an awesome one. I keep thinking about how incredible Casino Royale was. That's my favorite Bond movie, and it was an amazing introduction to Daniel Craig that just sort of slapped down all the haters that said he wasn't right for the role. He's great in the role, and he's done some very good work. I think, Casino and Skyfall, less so, but it was still solid. They're pretty damn fantastic experiences, whatever you want, but they're also terrific Bond films. And I hope this next one lives up to that. I hope it's as good as Casino Royale, don't we all? We're going to find out in a year. And these guys are just like, they're like monkeys on keyboards right now, frantically trying to get it done. That's going to do it for our rundown today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with EP Live, so make sure you come back for that. And we've got lots of other content for you to check out, so please do. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, hit that little bell, and if you're so inclined, there's that sponsorship button, which is now called the member button. So join up if you want to. But thank you very much for watching, and remember, play forever.